Good morning, Pride League. This is your co-commissioner, Disabled Vigilantes, and I gotta say, this Thursday, is feeling a little bit different. All right. Let's get into it. Right, we're in the final week of the regular season, and what we gotta do is we kind of figure out this playoff picture, right? But to do that, we gotta look at the previous week in week 13. So I almost picked all of these right, except I didn't have faith in myself. Let's just go down the list, right? Of the ones that I've got right. So, starting off, we got the West Coast Giants going up against Dynasty Sage. I picked the Giants to win that to keep their playoff hopes thriving. Good on you, kid. Next, we have Stacking Yards going up against Agent Smith. This was the game of the week. This was what was going to determine whether or not I got all these picks right, or so I thought. And I picked Stacking Yards, riding the hot hand. Stacking Yards did me quite a favor in getting that dub in terms of my picks. I mean, they're in the stratosphere when it comes to positioning, but I'm talking about my picks here right now. Next, we have Bull City going up against the Boss. And the Boss definitely got that victory from Bull City. Bull City on an incredible slide. I don't know how many times this guy's gonna get the dud, but it's not over yet. And so we got Griffey Cakes going up against Dunder Mifflin, and I picked Griffey Cakes despite Dunder Mifflin's effort to try to maintain relevance, even though I think he was knocked out of the playoffs with last week's loss and the previous week's loss. Either way, then we had Unfuckwittable going up against those Hollywood Cole brothers. And unfortunately, the firepower of Unfuckwittable, it just knocked down the Hollywood sign. And, it caused a lot of strife and damage. But anyway, and then we had ADP going up against Classy Strippers. And, ADP is at the back of the bus. I kind of didn't expect Classy Strippers to struggle with ADP at all. Gets the dub. And then finally, we have Wubba Lubba Dub Dub going up against Disabled Vigilantes. And I kind of wrote my team off in a much of a emotional state last week. If you guys couldn't tell, I was just like, fuck it. Who knows why? Why is this whole season occurring? But Disabled Vigilantes pulled it off. Unlike my predictions, I went 6-1 instead of a grandiose 7-0, bringing my total up to 55-36, which isn't bad. But I guess I gotta have more faith in myself. I could have got all those picks right. That was the week to get everything correct. Anyway, I'm not feeling Dudley like Bull City dud 3 weeks in a row, going up for the grand prize. I mean, who's gonna be the dudderific team of the year? Then we got Fantasy Stud stacking yards, doing work in this mother. You know what I mean? Like, this is an incredible run, stacking yards, hitting his stride. Pulling into the back 100. I don't know. Can anybody catch him? Again, this man is feeling quite confident. Just quite confident. Stacking yards. Getting, how many is that? 3 in a row? Let's take a look at the records here. No, it's not 3 in a row, but it is 3 for stacking yards, tied for most of any other team. Very, very successful last couple of weeks. But that's in the past, right? Let's talk about the future before we get to the present. So the future is about people that have clinched the playoffs. I mean, these guys are probably clinched way before, but mathematically, Unfuckwittable, Stacking Yards, and Agent Smith, no matter what happens this week, will reside in the playoffs. That's fact, right? Fact. That's happening. Everybody else, we're going to go down to tiebreakers, and, if everybody has the same records, it's probably going to go by most points. And it's not over. So, even the guys that have clinched, positioning in that buy. Oh, the coveted buy. Who's going to grab that? You know what I mean? A dub here, a dub there can have you rest in week one in the playoffs. You know, kind of reevaluating the strats and whatnot, who you're gonna play, all that stuff. But everybody, with the exception of some of the bottom feeders, this week is quite important. And even the bottom feeders, positioning for the draft, I don't know. Maybe that's kind of important, but to me, rookies are rookies are rookies. I mean, I would just want to. I don't know. This is just me personally. I don't really give. Well, probably because I don't have any draft picks. I don't give a shit about positioning for draft picks. But I mean, to each his own. I mean, losing never sits well with me, regardless of the situation. But that's just me. Next, let's get back to the present. I mean, we've kind of evaluated the future and kind of see. Let's see how it kind of pans out in my mind, right? And we'll start with the easiest matchup: ADP going up against Griffey Cakes. Griffey Cakes could be fighting for a playoff spot if he loses this matchup. I'm not saying that he's guaranteed to win despite losing. Um, let's just say you don't want to lose to the worst team in the league at the moment. So I got Griffey Cakes not losing to ADP because that would be kind of odd. And then we got Dunder Mifflin going up against Stack in yards. Again, Stack's only reason for really winning this game is playoff positioning. Set to beat Dunder Mifflin. Dunder Mifflin's no slouch, but I mean, compared to Stack, it's probably a done deal. Give Stack the victory, and we'll see. Does that, does some miracle happen and Unfuck Wittable loses, and Stack gets the go ahead for the bye? Who knows? I mean, because I have a feeling if they have the same record, it's going to come down to points scored, and it's razor thin margins there, buddy. So. Well, game number 3, I've got Dynasty Sage going up against Disabled Vigilantes. Hello, my rival. I can tell that you're not going to lay down for me. That's fine. I don't need you to lay down because I'm going to put you down. I don't get aggressive unless it's really my rival. If I play you twice, expect the fucking heat. Because I don't care if none of my niggas play. If all of them get hurt, I'm going to find some people on the waiver wire and still bust your ass. So, that's neither here nor there. Disabled Vigilantes, chalk it up. Yeah, let's see what we got. I can't lose to my rival. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So, next we got Agent Smith going up against Wubba Lubba Dub Dub. You know what I'm talking about? Wubba Lubba Dub Dub is now facing elimination, going up against one of the top dogs that have already clinched. Now, in my scenario, I don't think Agent Smith has a chance to get this bye. But stranger things have happened, right? I don't think Agent Smith just lets you roll all over him and be like, playoffs, daddy. You know what I mean? He got bigger fish to fry. Get off that man's Johnson. So Agent Smith, I'm going to give the dub over Wubba Lubba Dub Dub. I mean, losing to me last week couldn't have been pleasant, but it is what it is. And now you're on the brink of elimination. Glad you're doing okay. Hope the fam's doing well. But in fantasy, my guy, you're toast. You're toast. So next we've got 5. We've got Classy Strippers going up against Unfuckwittable. And Classy Strippers has made a commanding run trying to become playoff relevant. And who knows? He might have one of those weeks where it doesn't matter if Unfuckwittable scores 300. And then Classy Strippers is like, I'm a playoff team. If he wins this and, definitely becomes the fantasy stud, he's in control of his own destiny. So I just don't see it happen. I think Unfuckwittable definitely wants his bye. He's going to score as many points as he can. And you're going to have to really outscore a potential stud candidate to be in the playoffs. Classy Strippers, I hate to say it, but I got Unfuckwittable winning this game, knocking you out the playoffs. But don't worry, you got the other playoffs in the other league. You're straight. It may not be this playoffs, but you got something, right? Anyway, moving on. We've got Hollywood Cole Brothers going up against Bull City. If there was a game that had no merit, no warrant, this would be it. Who wins the game of nothing? I'm gonna say the Hollywood Cole Brothers ekes this by. Bull City probably won't score over 150 points. I'm just guessing here. I think Bull City's throwing in the towel. So if it prove me wrong, but I don't know. Bull City's probably gonna be dud for 4 weeks in a row. It's not looking pretty. So I'm giving that one to Hollywood Cole Brothers. Hopefully that gives me enough to get all 7 of these right. But who knows? I mean, neither one of these teams are playing for anything. They both could have illegal rosters for all I know. And next we have the game of the week. We've got the boss going up against the West Coast Giants. Holy smokes. Game of the week. Playoff indications riding high, right? The boss doesn't want to lose this and become 8-6, and then have like 2 other teams become 8-6, and then we come down to tiebreakers and all. The boss wants to be 9-5 in a clinched position with the other 3. Yeah, this is how that should roll. But if the West Coast Giants hit him up, knocking him down to 8-6, we could have a very. I mean, the boss is doing well points wise. I don't think he's too terribly concerned, even in a loss. But you never know how the playoffs are going to shape. Just win, baby. I think Al Davis said it best. Just win, baby. You know what I mean? But in my models, my projections, I've got those West Coast Giants in an upset. This is probably not good for me, but this is how I see it. I got the West Coast Giants beating the boss, and that kind of mucks it up for me. I'm not saying that that's what I want. It's just how I see it. So I got the West Coast Giants winning that one. Holy smokes. I have no idea if I'm going to get all these picks right. And if I do get all these picks right, I don't even know if I'll make the playoffs. I don't know. But, it's kind of like a toss-up. But I know one thing. Unfuckwittable. Stacking Yards and Agent Smith have definitely have life next week. The rest of you guys, obviously, going from you're 4-9, you're probably this is over. You know what I mean? 8 losses, you probably won't be in it either. 7 losses, you probably won't be in it either. You need 8 wins is my benchmark. If you don't have 8 wins, you're not making the playoffs. Unless all those people lose. But I don't see it. So, let's go with my power rankings, right? Starting from the back of the bus, ADP, irrelevant. 14th, you're done. Dunder Mifflin, irrelevant, you're done. Better luck next year. Off season's coming up soon. You know what I mean? You got hope for next year. And then we got Dynasty Sage at 12. You're gonna try to fuck me, but that's cool. I appreciate your effort in trying to fuck me, but I'm married, dude. You can't get to this unless you're better than the wife. You know what I mean? So we're gonna leave you at 12. Leave you at 12. Anyway, we've got Bull City, 11. He's probably deserving to be 12. We'll see. Hate to give Dynasty Sage any kind of credit right now. 10, we've got the Hollywood Cole Brothers. And then this is where it gets nasty. Based on my projections, I got Classy Strippers at 9th. It is what it is, right? And then we got Wubba Lubba Dub Dub coming in at 8. Just 7-7. You're done. Dunsies out of the playoffs at 7. This is where it gets real tricky, right? We got Disabled Vigilantes coming in right at the edge of the playoff marker there. And then we got those West Coast Giants at 6. Now, even though I got them winning, I still got them on the power rankings at right below the boss at 5. And then we got Griffey Cakes at 4, which is kind of weird, but I'm going to leave it there. Griffey Cakes, you've earned the 4th seed. Agent Smith at 3. Unfuckwittable at 2. And I got Stacking Yards. There's no reason for me to believe that motherfucker ain't going to have the fantasy stud again and then overtake the points and all that stuff. Stacking Yards, I give you the bye, my guy. And, that's the power rankings. That's where I kind of see us at the moment. Now, Your boy only got one wrong, and that was because he was on an emotional tirade for that given matchup against Wubba Lubba Dub Dub. You know what I mean? So, I'm fairly accurate. 55 and 36 coming into this. There's a reason why you guys listen to me, because you know I got something nice to say about your squad. Unless you're ADP, Dunder Mifflin, Dynasty, etc., etc., etc. But you know I got something nice to say if you're doing well. You know it. Anyway, that's about it, man. We're at past the 15-minute mark. This is good week 14 energy. I like going into this at least being alive. This is good. And then we got next week, we're going to be talking about 6 more teams and their playoff aspirations. We actually might even have a guest speaker next week. I'm going to throw some feelers out there, see if anybody want to have a little banter with your boy. And we're going to see how the playoffs play out. Now, everybody have a great week 14. Last week of the regular season. Everybody with the exception of Dynasty Sage. I'm going to throw fucking Naruto in another dimension and see how the Leaf Village does. You know what I mean? Who can save the Leaf Village? It ain't Dynasty Sage. That motherfucker's out of commission. Trust that. Now, holla at your boy. Peace.